Everybody ready over there? Where's David?
No, the road's not in good, well, this time it's getting better shape.
Okay. All right. No problem. Okay, here we go. North Smithfield Town Council, September 6, 2022. Madam Clerk, will you lead us with the prayer and the pledge, please?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Here.
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 Here. So we're just going to make a couple of little change to the agenda tonight. We're going to move open forum underneath, and we're going to move up presentation of citation to Special Olympics, the Special Olympic athletes. Just a little background on how that we came to be here tonight. We were at the fireworks the week after the 4th, and I always look for somebody exceptional at the fireworks to give the countdown, 3, 2, 1, blast off, and so we have mutual friends, and they pointed out and they asked me to call Lori Pendergast, and Lori told us about the team and your accomplishments and everything that you did, and that there were some teammates that were at the fireworks. So we had a few of the boys and a few of the participants come up and do the blast off, and I'll tell you, the fireworks were spectacular. I don't know if they would have been as good without their help. So it went very well. And then later on, talking to Rick, the coach, and he told me about the accomplishments of the team, and this council has always been very proactive in recognizing the achievements of people in town, and whether it be students who did fundraisers or whatever, Eagle Scouts, seniors. This council has been very proactive in recognizing people's achievements, so here you are tonight. So we're just gonna, as a council, we'd like to recognize you for your achievements and congratulate you. So if we could have Coach Labreche and Coach Capiano come up to the podium and just tell us a little bit about the team, coaches, and your accomplishments.
First of all, Council, thank you so much for having us here and honoring these amazing athletes of Special Olympics Rhode Island. Basically, these guys have been playing together for about 5 years now. Traditional basketball for Special Olympics. In March of 2021, these guys were notified that they were selected to represent the state of Rhode Island at the 2022 USA Games for Special Olympics that were being held in Orlando, Florida from June 4th to June 12th. So from March of 2021, these guys have been practicing every other weekend. They've been going to a personal trainer every other weekend to get in shape for the games that we just came back from. And
tournaments at PC, at URI, practices every week, games every week, on top of, schoolwork, regular work, hanging out with their friends, their families. I mean, it goes just beyond their abilities on the court. They're just well-rounded individuals. Going down to Orlando, we started out in pool play, playing 3 different games against Maryland, Alabama, Texas, and beating all 3 teams. Going into the Division I playoffs, the championship bracket, playing, I think it was Alabama again, and then going into the gold medal round against, who did we play?
Indiana. We played against a very, very strong team from Indiana. These guys played their hearts out. Unfortunately, they came in second, which to me is nothing to be ashamed of. These guys are the second best traditional basketball team for Special Olympics in the country.
And I'd like to point out too, the coach for Indiana was a college basketball coach, and some of the athletes on their team did practice with the college team. So it was a really good team, and it was a great game. So, I mean, we put up as much of a fight as we could have, and I don't think anybody here could be more proud of the team.
Yeah. very proud of each and every one of these guys. It was an amazing trip. It was a fun ride. Even getting down there, these guys didn't fly first class. They went above. They flew private Cessnas to and from Orlando.
With style.
With style. It was a red carpet treatment once we got down there. The camaraderie amongst these athletes are incredible. Like I said, we've been together for about 4 or 5 years. But the last year and a half has been a different ball game, a different, for lack of a better word, I guess, huh? They've been on the court every other week. They've been playing against college teams, you know, here in Rhode Island, Unified Colleges. They've been playing against other Special Olympics teams. And their only loss in the last 4 years was the game against Indiana. These guys have an incredible record, and we couldn't be more proud of these athletes, these amazing athletes that, you know, they're our heroes. You know, they came home to a hero's welcome, and well-deserved. Well-deserved.
We couldn't agree more. That's why
Thank
we
you.
asked.
And you have some North Smithfield residents right here on this club.
That's why we asked you to come tonight, because we
You do. You
totally are in agreement with you.
Yeah.
Could I get the team to stand up? You ready, CJ? So the 2022 Special Olympics basketball team is in the house. Go ahead, wait a minute. CJ. It was supposed to go a little smoother than that, but it went well. All right, thanks, guys. So what we're going to do now is I'm gonna join you, and Ms. O'Hara has a couple that she would like to hand out, and we'll like to hand out the citations to everybody.
Thank you, sir.
Okay? I bet you it's the first time that's ever. Okay. Devani Walls. He's not here? Okay, someone can hand that to him. Devin Ainsberg. Jamar Abney. Michael Coyne.
I know.
Michael Jigger. Alex Began is not here. Tony Palmer. Oh, I'm sorry. Tommy Palmer. Can we edit that? Oh, and this is for head coach Rick LaBreche. Also, Coach Ryan Fleming. Is that Capuano?
It is.
Michael Capuano. And Ms. O'Hara asked to hand out a couple of the
Yes.
awards herself. But let me just, Destiny?
Yep.
Parento. So Ms. O'Hara asked to hand out these.
And before I do, as I sat there, I had to contain myself, Cole, because I remember, well, listen, I had oral surgery, so I'm speaking kind of, it's because I look like a bulldog if I open up my mouth. Coming to our school with Mom, first day of school. Big smile, Mom even a bigger smile, and it was like he was always there. And luckily, we had the basketball nets outside our class. So if everybody in my class needed a few minutes to run around, what did they do? They played basketball. Then Mr. Pendergast had a special walk down that sidewalk. He had a kind of little pop. Maybe he jumps well in basketball today. When he'd coming down, and he always had a smile.
Still does.
That's the boy, now I see the men. I've seen you outside of school, Lowe's and a few places, right, Cole? I've seen you at the market. I've seen you around school. And I am proud of not only you, but of your parents, your coaches, and our school department that has promoted equality for all. And it's with much pride that I hand you these, and when you're even older, yes, you do get older. You become an institution. First, Mr. Brady Pendergast. Get down here. Thank you. And then my own Cole Stenovich. And for each and every one of you, continue this practice, because even from above or below, when my time comes, I'll be on your, as they say politely, posterior.
Thank you. We'll take 5 right now as for the council, and if you guys want to stay or you want to leave, it's up to you at this point.
think
Who isn't here?
Clifford.
I told
can
you
we have a
that's
meeting
when that
without-
feel.
Okay, we're back on.
I don't know the water. Here and there and everywhere.
Open forum pursuant to Rhode Island General Law 42-46-6. Is there anybody in the audience that would like to be heard during open forum? Okay, moving on. Old business, discussion by council vote or other action on an update of Halliwell Review Committee. Mr. Corriveau.
We don't have any update other than the fact that we're meeting this Thursday for the joint meeting.
Looking forward to it.
Me too.
Discussion by council vote of the action on update of Municipal Building Review Task Force. Mr. Nordstrom. Also authorization for proposal from Tecton Architects to satisfy Rhode Island Interlocal Trust recommendations for North Smithfield Police Station.
We all set? Good evening. You should have a letter that came in your package dated August 30th. You might remember that back in May, I appeared before you on behalf of the task force, that we had revised the footprint of the building, but had recommended that we take a pause on going out to bid till the construction atmosphere changed. But in the meantime, we still had a whole host of items that were brought up by the Rhode Island Interlocal Trust that needed to be addressed. Back the end of June, Public Works Director, Town Administrator, and I had a Zoom call with Brad Weaver, who's the author of the letter. And I think I might have touched on this before, but in short, his assessment was that the building was in need of replacement, but that any improvements we make just be geared toward liability issues. There's, the leaking roof that causes problems inside. The fascia of the building is falling apart. There's trip and fall hazards on the sidewalk. There's a downspout or two that flow out into the parking lot and can become a problem. All that's included, I think, in as an attachment to what I wrote up. So the task force met. We went through the list of items and we tried to establish a matrix to figure out what was the most important to get done and the timeliness to get it done. And based on that and the fact that the Interlocal Trust wanted a professional engineer to take a look at the building, we thought it best that we look at Tecton to provide those services. So we did that in early August. The following Monday, Paul Vadney and Dave Chamberlain went to Hartford and met with the folks from Tecton, explained what the problem was, went over the matrix, and they talked about a proposal to address some of those items. We met again later last Tuesday and looked over the proposal. The proposal itself will involve professional service associated with design, like trying to figure out what to do with the front of the building without tearing the whole thing down, how to repair the parapet, which is kind of like the top part of the roof, and repair the leaks on the roof and some other things. The scope of services they provided include design, helping the town put it out to bid, and to oversee construction. They're also pretty flexible on what path we go down, but we have time. We have time to figure that out during the design phase. The total amount of the work is $80,000, which falls pretty much in line with the services that Secosha provided on this building. So we're asking approval for that amount and to authorize the town administrator to sign. And then, once that report is done and the design is finished, obviously, we'd have to submit that to the trust to get their blessing, but he was very careful to explain to us that, to be careful how we spent the money, not to put a whole lot of money into it, just to get by until we're able to get the project out to bid. So, with that,
Does anyone have any questions, Mr. Nordstrom?
No, but I'd like to make a statement contrary to what some people in this town feel. I believe everyone on your committee, if we had to pay you for the knowledge that you are sharing with this town, we couldn't afford you. I can't speak for everyone, feel that what you decide, you have the knowledge. And I will follow and maybe try to persuade everybody, but I don't think that would be very hard, to go the same way.
appreciate that. Thank you.
People do a lot and say little at times, and there's people who don't do anything and they say a lot. But in your instance, I thank you from the bottom of my heart as I see your credentials and think that you are giving this of your own free will at times where people usually don't make that kind of commitment. I thank you.
I agree with Ms. O'Hara. So you said you went this past Monday to Hartford?
No, I'm sorry.
Actually, on VJ Day, we went
On
out to Hartford.
Okay, so you basically went on a holiday to...
David and I went on a holiday.
Okay, so you went on a holiday, spent your day, nobody paid you, nobody recommended that you do it, you weren't looking to get anything out of it other than doing what's best for this town, you know, in your opinion, as far as serving on the committee. And I kind of echo what Ms. O'Hara said. You know, there's a lot of criticism out there where, you know, there'll be chatter saying, well, what's in it for them? Why are they doing it? And I just, sitting on the council, you know, regardless of that, even as a resident, I as well appreciate, you know, what the committee's doing and what you guys are doing.
Thanks.
Anyone else? Well, while we're at it, when I first sat with you guys on the committee back in 2016, right, Paul? I felt out of place. I mean, I was like way out of my league with you guys. Then over the years, I actually learned a ton. So a very impressive group that we put together. Anything else?
Bravo. For all your good works and time and effort.
Is there a motion to approve the request?
So moved.
Oh, hold on one sec. Thank you, Ms. O'Hara. The request is, hold on.
Last page. Last.
Recommending approval and authorize the administrator to sign.
And Claire, do you want to amend your, to recommend approval and authorize the
Yes.
administrator to sign? Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any further discussion?
Just on the discussion, once we get this set up with them, once we get approval, either Paul or myself will call Tecton, let them know, and we'll be meeting with them within 2 weeks to get this process started. And then once we decide how we're gonna go about doing this, we're looking at different ways to bid it. It might not be bid as one package, it might be bid as several packages, it might be more fruitful for the town to do it that way. But people need to really understand, this is not a fix. It's really, truly is a Band-Aid. It's all it is. It's not a fix. And we're gonna spend, we've told them no more than $1 million on this project. We told them that's their budget. And we're not trying to hit the budget. We just know that we have a limited number of funds on this. But you're not gonna recoup the money. We're gonna spend it and we're not gonna recoup it. And everyone needs to really understand that
even the trust has weighed in and said, that building needs to go. It cannot function as a police station, even spending a lot of money on it. They've even come out and said that. So everyone needs to be aware of that this is like a little step. The next step is going forward with this and actually putting it out there and saying, we're gonna replace the building. And Tecton is gonna be presenting us, they said next month, or this month, next time we meet with them, they should have a better handle on it, on pricing, where pricing is going. They've talked with a contractor and they've reviewed with estimators and stuff. So they've continued to look at this, because they see it the way we see it too, so it's not just standing still, we're moving.
Thank you. Anybody else? Roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Thanks, Paul.
That's it, yep.
Discussion by council, vote or other action on salaries and wage ordinance. This is the second reading. Mr. Jesus?
I don't really have anything to say. It's just the second reading of the wage ordinance. There's been no changes.
Mr. President, I make a motion that we approve for second reading the wage and salary ordinance for 2022-2023 as submitted.
It's a motion. We have a second.
Second.
Second by Ms. Alves. Any further discussion? Roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, we're gonna make one quick change on the agenda. We're gonna move, on the new business, we're gonna move H up to the top. Discussion by council vote of the action on recommendation to utilize the State of Rhode Island Master Price Agreement number 506, seasonal equipment to purchase a zero-turn mower. Mr. Pendergast.
Thank you. I received a proposal from Norfolk Power back on August 26th for a new Kubota 60-inch zero-turn mower for the price of $15,791.16. I was following this along with the state MPA 506. I forwarded my recommendation to the finance director. She diligently contacted 4 other people on the master price agreement. 3 didn't, 2 said they didn't have anything. 1 didn't respond. And then we got another quote from Stephen Roy Powell for $18,799. So the recommendation to you is to approve the Norfolk Power zero-turn mower for $15,791.16. And I'm just reading her last thing here. The funding will come from the committed town council reservations.
Any questions for Mr. Pendergast? We have a motion to approve the $15,791.16.
Mr. President,
Ms. Alves?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the recommendation to purchase a Kubota ZD 1211 60-inch zero-turn mower from Norfolk Power Equipment in the amount of $15,791.16 per the direction of the Public Works Director, and the funds coming from the town council reserves.
Second motion?
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Thanks, Ray.
Thank you.
Discussion by council, vote other action on appointment of water sewer superintendent. Mr. Descoteaux, Mr. Zelinski, do you want to speak on this?
Yes, Mr. President. I have to say it's a privilege and honor to appoint Mr. Descoteaux to this position. He has not years of experience, decades of experience working Woonsocket, Cumberland. His depth and breadth of knowledge is absolutely amazing. We are fortunate to have this gentleman work as part of our North Smithfield team. So he's my appointment to Water and Sewer Superintendent.
Thank you. Yeah, you don't need council approval on that.
No?
I hope he's good. We're gonna need him. Got a lot coming up.
We sure do. I think he's up for I don't think, I know he's ready.
Okay, great. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Discussion by council vote other action on abatements and supplementals. Ms. St. George?
Hi, tonight I have supplementals in the amount of $6,560.45.
Does anyone have any questions for Ms. St. George on this one? Is there a motion to approve?
Mr. President, I approve the supplementals as submitted by the tax assessor in the amount of $6,560.45.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Next I have abatements. It's mainly real estate and tangible in the amount of $12,377.95.
Does anyone have any questions, Ms. St. George, on this one?
So this abatement and supplemental is just basically changing the account number, is that what's happening?
One of them is, they were under the wrong owner, so we basically wiped out one and submitted the other. That's the supplemental. Most of these are over assessments. They did an appeal for their revaluation.
Any other questions?
Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion to approve the abatements as per the tax assessor in the amount of $12,377.95.
What's the motion? Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Vadney. Roll call.
Yes.
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 Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
You missed it. It's on YouTube.
It flooded in one socket. We're good too. But forget Warwick and Cranston and Providence around, Branch Avenue, et cetera. They get hit badly.
Discussion by council vote of the other action on quote from Delta Electro Power Incorporated for improvements to Sharon Parkway Sewer Pump Station.
You forgot the penalty adjustments.
Yeah, I'll move. You're ready to
Sorry,
forget
we
that, but
can-
let's
we
go
can
to
go
D
back.
first now since I already read it. Thank you, though. She's not here. Do you want to?
Yeah, I think between Cynthia and I, Wright Pierce, the town's engineering has recommended, Sharon Parkway has been a problem location for the town. The money is in the budget for this. The company is Industrial Flow Solutions. They are a one-source company for this particular pump, and the distribution is through Delta Electro Motors. So it's in the amount for $212,686. It'll alleviate a lot of concern of I'm not sure the residents know how bad it is, but the sewer commission does.
That area's had trouble since it was built,
Yes,
and it wasn't addressed.
ready to address it. It's a council decision.
Should have been the contractors.
Does anybody have any questions on this one? We have a motion to approve.
Mr. President,
Ms. Bennett?
I make a motion that we award the bid in the amount of $212,686 to Delta Electro Power, Inc. for improvements to the Sharon Parkway Sewer Pump Station.
Do we have a second on this one?
Second.
Second by Ms. Alves. Is there any further discussion?
Just on the discussion, Paul, do you know if this is gonna increase our pumping capacity?
Well, it'll certainly alleviate any
Any
breakdowns.
shortfalls?
Yeah, we have two other stations that we're gonna have to discuss in the future, so, yeah, it's time to update these facilities, Counselor.
Anything else? Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Going up to C, discussion by council vote of action on tax and penalty adjustments. Mr. Jesus?
I am proposing a penalty adjustment in the amount of $1,138.44.
Any questions, Mr. Jesus? Is there a motion to approve the $1,264.93?
Mr. President, I make a motion that we approve the penalty adjustments of $1,138.44 on the recommendation of the Finance Director.
Second.
Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Discussion by council, vote or other action on award of bid for North Smithfield High School demolition and replacement of windows. Mr. Jesus?
The school department went out for bid to replace some windows at the high school. They only received one bid, and it was from Danielson Glass and Mirror Company. They recommended to myself to utilize their revolving account that we hold for them, which is the revolving account that gets reimbursed by RIDE at 30% or 40%, depending on the project. So they want phase 1 and phase 2. Phase 1 is for the cafeteria for $118,000, and phase 2 is for the classrooms for $530,000. I am asking the town council to approve phase 2, and that will be funded from the school RIDE revolving account, which is Fund 160, in the amount not to exceed $530,000. Also, the school department will be putting this as a project for the RIDE to get reimbursed. So once we receive that money, that will go back into that fund to use for future projects.
I have just a quick comment or a question. Doesn't it seem like they've been replacing the windows over there forever?
I
They're
don't
doing it,
think
they're
the
doing it in phases. And so when they originally started replacing windows, when they redid the science class, the science labs and stuff, as part of that renovation, they replaced those windows. They haven't replaced, they did some other replacement windows, a few that needed replacement because they were broken, with the intent to go out to bid to get more of them done. I think this part of it is going to do either a whole wing or the inside of the courtyard, one or the other.
Okay.
But it's a continuing thing. As they build up funds, they go and get more of them done. It's something that was in the master plan, school master plan from 2006, was to replace those windows in the high school eventually, as in the third step of the process. The first step was the middle school, the second step was the elementary school, and then the third step was renovating and updating the high school. And so they've been undertaking a lot of that and chipping away at it. And with this revolving fund and getting the 40% back, they've been pretty wise using it and moving in, getting good funding from the town. They've been able to address a lot of issues in this project. And so
Okay.
it's an ongoing process. There's a lot of windows to replace in
I
there.
guess so.
And so it takes time.
And I want to comment, for years, these schools were not maintained, and they had to start somewhere. Around that time, the vents at Halliwell School, over 50 years, the vents were never cleaned. We, some mothers and I, took our vacuums from home, figured we needed someone powerful, so I, on my own, and no, I didn't even ask if I could, had them cleaned. Then someone told someone. And at least that Christmas, following when I had them done in the fall, they, let me see, it was 2013. when my husband died, came in and cleaned all the vents. That was the first time those vents were cleaned, and even the boilers were not maintained properly. And the bugs were not maintained properly. When I saw in 1980 termites coming out of a sink, and I brought it to people's attention, they told me they were ant with wings. And I informed them those same ants ate my father's garage. They were termites. That wasn't addressed till at least, 25 years later. So what they're doing now, they have to keep doing. We were penny wise and pound foolish. It would have been a lot cheaper then than now. So anything they want to do to update it, clean it, fix it, we've got to do it.
Thank you.
Those are original windows in that school,
At the high school?
in the high school. Those are
Absolutely.
original windows, they're all single pane glass.
Singles,
And
yep.
so now they're going to double pane insulated windows and all that, and so you won't save the money to pay for the windows, but there is a savings in doing
Right.
it.
When was that built, in 61?
Huh?
When was it built?
66.
66?
And to be honest, there were not many of those windows that ever been replaced because they've been broken. You know what I mean? No one's even broken the panes of glass. There's been some vandalism up there, but not widespread. I bet you, count on one hand the number of windows that they've had to have a glazier come in and change because they've been broken.
All right. So we're looking for a motion to approve for the total amount of $530,000.
No. Mr. President, if I may, I make a motion that we approve the bid in 2 phases to
Yeah.
Danielson Glass and Mirror. Phase 1 is to do the cafeteria in the amount of $118,000. And phase 2 is to do classrooms in the amount of $530,000. Phase 1 will be funded by the school department. Phase 2 will be funded by the school ride revolving account.
Okay, we'll entertain a motion to approve Phase 1. Do we have a motion to approve Phase
I
1?
just didn't. I
You
just
did.
made a motion.
Oh, the motion,
The motion was to
I was
approve
gonna
phase
break it,
1
I'm
and
sorry, I
phase-
was breaking it down to 2, so
Oh.
you want, we can do it, okay. So
Either
Mr.
way.
Vadney made the motion. Is there a second, please?
Second,
Roll call, please.
yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Discussion by council, what other action and recommendation to extend contract with STV Incorporated for Owners Program Manager Services for North Smithfield High School. Mr. Jesus?
Yes, I received a recommendation from Mr. Alan Zepe, the North Smithfield Schools Facilities Manager, and he's recommending to extend the contract with STV for the OPM services. The current contract ended on June 30th of 2022. This current contract will extend through October 31st of 2023. STV is on the state MPA, and the school committee approved the contract extension. This will be also funded from the school ride revolving account in the amount not to exceed $35,000. This also will be going for, to submit for housing aid for the cost of the entire project once it's done.
Any questions for Mr. Jesus?
I just have one question. Didn't we just pay STV like 30-something? What was that for? Like on the last payment, I remember asking the question, like, what was this 30,000? And it was something for the key system for the school.
Yeah, that wasn't for STV, that was for, actually, that's because coming up next, I'm
Is that
gonna
the
ask
next
for an
one?
approval, but this, is for the security system.
Okay.
It was, oh God, it was ATG Group. And it was for $30-something,000, if that's the one you're talking about. And I know it was for the security, for the, I guess, I don't know if like their fobs, or I don't know what they're doing some kind of security,
Okay.
system at the school.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anybody else?
STV is overseeing the job for the town. It's a requirement of RIDE, when you do a project now, you have to have an OPM.
You do.
And so STV, and they've been doing the projects right along with the science classrooms, the addition, the boys' locker room, and some of the windows, and so they want to keep them on board. STV has done a great job, and we haven't even come close to paying what the estimated is. They haven't even come close to that, so I think that they're doing a great job, and I know Bob Gervasini, not personally, but I know him just from working with him, and he's right on top of everything over there, so.
Thank you.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to approve?
Mr. President, I make a motion that we extend the contract to STV Inc. from the State Master Price Agreement number 430 in the amount not to exceed $35,000.
Do we have a second? That was a second by Ms. O'Hara. Roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes. Discussion by council vote of the action on key scan security system for the elementary school. Mr. Jesus?
Yes, this was submitted to me from Adam Stanley. He's the IT person over at the school department. And he asked actually the school committee to approve to do more scan security system in the amount of $31,808.54. And they also want to use the RIDE revolving account, and they are going to be submitting this to RIDE to get reimbursed. So I'm asking the town council to please approve the contract with ATG for phase 2 of the key scan security system in the amount of $31,808.54.
Any questions for Mr. Jesus?
So I guess I'm gonna go back. So what did we pay for phase 1?
Yes,
Okay,
and this is phase 2.
okay.
And we've put the money in the budget previously for this.
Actually, this is in the revolving account, in their RIDE revolving account. They have over $1 million in there.
Yeah, but didn't we approve moving that money?
That's right. No, the phase 1 was in capital. Wow, you have a good memory. Phase 1 was in capital in fiscal '22. We just approved, I think, $100,000 just to go into their RIDE account. Remember, we didn't really
Right,
give them a
into their
capital
revolving
reason.
account.
Yes. So this is going to come out just out of the RIDE revolving account, which is Fund 160. And then once we get reimbursed by RIDE, that will go back in there and they can use that for other projects.
Is there a motion to approve?
Mr. President,
Ms. House?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the contract with ATG Group for phase 2 of the key scan security system in the amount of $31,808.54, which will be utilizing the state Rhode Island MPA number 419, and the funds will be coming out of the RIDE revolving account, Fund 160, as per recommended by the school department.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? Roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes. All right, I think that's about it. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Adjourn.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.